Every login screen you've ever used hides the same pattern. We're building an expense tracker today. Sign up, log in, add expenses, filter them by date, and I picked it on purpose. It's small, but it has the exact same shape as almost every real backend you'll ever build. Nail this pattern once and you can reuse it forever. Before touching any code, I always break a spec into a short list like this. Auth first, because everything else depends on knowing who's asking. Then the data shape, then the roots, then the filtering on top. Here's the trick to rest. Stop thinking in functions and start thinking in nouns. An expense is a thing with an address. /expenses / its ID. The HTTP verb tells the server what to do to that address instead of you writing get expense, delete expense, update expense as separate function names. I'm reaching for Fast API here, not because Flask is bad, but because Fast API validates request bodies for you automatically. That's less code I have to write by hand later for this exact project. One file, one app object, and we're live. Every expense needs to know who owns it. That user it is what makes this a multi-user app instead of a shared spreadsheet. And category is locked to a fixed list like groceries or utilities, not a free text field, because free text is how you end up with groceries, and groceries as 3 different values. Watch the round trip. The client sends a post with a JWT in the header. The server checks that token before it even looks at the body. Then it inserts the row and hands back what it just saved. That token check up front is what keeps one user from touching another user's expenses. I made this mistake early in my career, stored a plain text password column just for now, and it never got fixed. bcrypt hashes it, and the JWT carries just the user's ID plus an expiry, signed so nobody can forge it. Current user comes out of the JWT, and every query below it filters by that ID. That's the whole trick to multi-tenancy at this scale. One where clause applied everywhere, no exceptions. Skip that owner user.id check on even one of these 2 roots, and user A can delete user B's expenses just by guessing an ID in the URL. Same guard on update and delete both, no copy-pasted logic to drift out of sync, and that hole never opens. The filters are just extra where clauses on the same query. Past week, past month, 3 months, or a custom start and end date. Once you are filtering, computing the running total is one sum on the same rows, practically free. My honest opinion? Status codes are underrated. It's tempting to return 200 with an error message buried in the JSON, but that forces every client to parse text to know what happened. A 4so versus a 4so1 tells the frontend exactly what to do next without reading a single word. This is the whole thing, every piece we walk through combined into one runnable file. Sign up, login, and the full CRUD set. All scope to whoever's token came in on the request. Sign up, log in, grab the token, and hit expenses with it. An empty array back means the whole chain worked, auth included. Clean. The natural next step is swapping out the toy DB layer for a real ORM against Postgres and adding refresh tokens so people aren't re-logging in every day. Same pattern, just hardened. That's the hard part explained. Here's the easy part. Like it, hit follow.